You know that Shogun Dan Henderson fight? I think it was the first fight. That's one of my favorites. This is just recent, but that Gamrot fight with Sarukian, that's up there right now. But Rory MacDonald, Robbie Lawler, these are classic fights. Gustafsson, Jones. It's hard to pick one fight. Frankie Edgar trilogy with Gray Maynard. I'll go with that.
That Rory MacDonald, Robbie Lawler one is just some
one.
crazy shit, man. Yeah, you see that fight, just knowing that they're in that type of a war and that stare down at the end, man, that's iconic.
My favorite MMA fight of all time. I honestly wouldn't be able to give you one, but I'd have to give you a couple. I'd have to go with Joanna versus Wei Lee. The first fight was one of the best fights I've ever seen in my life. Gustafsson Jones. That was a good one. That was one of the best fights I felt like I'd seen in my life. And Robbie Lawler, Roy MacDonald. Yes, yeah. Those are my top three right there.
I used to love watching K1 fights with Andy Sauer against Masato. Man, Gokhan Saki against Overeem was huge back in the day. There's been like some super beautiful boxing fights back in the day too. Obviously like all of the Mickey Ward, Tails, all those three fights were really awesome. So yeah, those are probably among some of my favorites.
Bob Sapp Minotauro. It's just such a crazy like circus fight. It's just so fun watching just the craziness of the old school Pride days unfold like that. It's a fun one.
The Shogun versus Dan Henderson was pretty amazing. Clay Guida versus Diego Sanchez was pretty amazing. Joanna versus Wei Lee, the first one was phenomenal. That's my favorite girl fight for sure. But yeah, there's been so many good ones.
I'm gonna go with Jon Jones Gustafsson. 1.
Damn, bro, why you pick all the good ones, bro? I'm sick of that.
You gotta answer first. You're not even thinking fast enough. That's
I
why.
know, bro. You're doing a great job. Fuck it. Yeah, bro.
Dude, now you're just literally counting my answers.
All right.
Greatest MMA fight, man. I don't know. That's hard. I would put Shogun and Dan Henderson. I love that fight. I think it's an amazing one. And I love both of the fighters. I'm a big fan of Shogun.
I think the first one that comes to mind would be Shogun and Dan Henderson 1. That one is just those guys. I'm a huge Shogun fan. Shogun's my favorite fighter of all time. So, that's that one. That one comes to mind.
Man, that's so hard to say. Like the first one that comes to mind was the Jose Aldo Chad Mendes 2. Oh my God, it was just such a beautiful blend of striking and wrestling.
No, sorry, Mark Hominick in WEC. It was Mark Hominick. It might have been Jose Aldo. I forgot who he was. When his eye just blew up. Was that 100?
Oh, man, I remember that.
It was
yeah.
crazy. I remember
the
that.
debate, the hematoma.
Yeah, he just blew up. It was nuts, man.
When I beat Team Silla first time for interim world championship, and it was great. In general, from the top of my head, what it was recently when Rosie beat Chinese athlete and became world champion. She beat her against all odds. I remember, and at that time it was my teammate Holly Holmes when she beat Ronda Rousey. It was 1-9, and I bet on Holly Holmes and I won some money. So it was like good fight, yeah.
What I remember, it was Robbie Lawler against Rory MacDonald, yeah, because it was a funny fight to watch, for me, for the fans, for everyone. It was a great fight.
There's one, and it's it's pretty old, but it is Nick Diaz and Carl Parisian. That is as a grappler, I love that fight. I've watched that fight so many times, and just the scrambles and the technique, the pace, just everything about that fight, I just really, really love. I think that is a classic one.
Dang.
I have another one too.
You give me the second one. Give it. What's my favorite? What's my favorite fight?
What about
ever?
Rory MacDonald and
Oh yes, and
Robbie Lawler. Yeah.
Yes, that's my favorite fight of
That's
all
a
time.
great
Yeah,
fight.
yeah, that's
Both
a
of
good
them were
answer
great
from
fights.
me.
And how
Yeah.
crazy is it that they messed each other up so bad in the first one? They're like, yeah, we're going to sign up to do that one again.
Yeah,
It's insane. I'd be
insane.
like, I don't know if I want to hurt like that again. That was rough.
Yeah, that's, you know, I have to put Force against Bonner up there. Because, again, he revolutionized the sport, you know. It really did. Everybody knows.